It is February 21st, and today is another day of me having Tia's car and driving her back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. Um, I had to drive all the way to Anderson today. So I took Tia to work, and yesterday I said that I was going to go take the scrap metal to the recycler place to get some money, and my scrap metal permit was expired. So after I dropped off Tia, I drove all the way to the Anderson County Sheriff's. At the end of the trip, I had driven an extra fresh tank of gas right after I dropped off Tia. I got a tank of gas, and I drove an extra 63 miles, I believe, to go down there and back home. It's literally like driving from the bottom of Greenville County to the top of Greenville County. It took for frickin' ever to get there. So anyway, I got my scrap metal permit, and then I came home with every intention of, after I met Tia for lunch, I was going to go do that. So everything was in the trunk, which is why I took her car in the first place. Everything was in the trunk. I also brought the mug to return to Hobby Lobby because it was not functional. But anyway, sorry, I digress. I when I got home after doing all that, I decided I was going to hang these Disney plates up that we found. We've had them for a while. They've been in the attic, but we never had any way to actually hang them up. But this little rack came attached to the house when we got it, and I took it down when I painted the kitchen and just totally forgot about it. And I found it in the attic recently and was like, hey, we can put the plates on that. So, because we're getting really into Disney theming again. And so I hung this up yesterday. I also decided to clean up the kegerator a little bit so that it wasn't so kegerator-y. And I took this thing off the top because it had just been, I basically had it glued to the top of the kegerator so that I could insert. It was a homemade tap stand. It was just silver PVC. I spray painted silver, spray painted this thing silver, and so I popped it off with a screwdriver and just unglued it, and there was some dried up caked beer underneath it, and I cleaned all that up, and then I filled the hole with, it was just a rag, just so that there's some sort of insulation there. Eventually I'll put that spray stuff in there, and I put some of the metal duct tape on there. And that's going to be temporary until I can put something that's a little bit more clean and pretty on there. So it doesn't look like garbage anymore. It actually looks like the top of a little table that's white. And so that's all done. Before I went and met Tia for lunch, I decided I was going to eat the remainder of the raviolis I had last night because of the big can. And so I ate half of it, and I ate the rest today because I needed to take my medicine, which you're not supposed to take on an empty stomach. So I ate, it wasn't that much. It wasn't even half that can of ravioli. It was like a lot less. And I took my medicine and watched a little TV. And I'm yawning. Everybody yawn with me because I know you are. 12 o'clock, I left to go meet Tia for lunch, and it was probably like 12:25 when I got there. And we went to Chick-fil-A at the mall, and we decided that instead of spending more money, because we've been doing good this week and getting a whole lot of free lunches, and we used points to get everything on the menu. Everything we ate, we got for free. And so we're trying to save money for the vacation, and we're picking and choosing what to spend, and luckily we haven't spent a whole lot this week. So I took her back. It was about 1:30 when I took her back to work, and I had every intention. Everybody on with me. I had every intention of going to the scrapyard to get rid of all that copper pipe and aluminum cans and battery and all that kind of stuff, and go to Hobby Lobby and go to Sam's to get gas or whatever. And it was already 1:30, 1:38 actually, whenever I pulled out. And I was like, by the time I do all of that, because I have to be back here at 4:30 to get her to take her to Zumba, I was like, by the time I get done doing all that, I'm going to get home, literally turn right back around and leave again. So I decided that I was just going to do it tomorrow. So I called the scrapyard and I was like, I just want to make sure that you guys are open tomorrow, because I thought that they were either closed on Friday or Monday, but I couldn't remember. She said they were only closed on Saturday and Sunday. So I was like, okay, well, that works. So I immediately went home, and while I was at home, I filmed a little segment. This is the first video we've actually filmed specifically for the channel. I have my Figment Magic Band that I filmed a little segment about putting this orange pendant from this is the magic band that came with my my vacation package, and I put this orange pendant in my Figment Magic Band. That way it's more Figment colored, orange and purple, so that, I don't know, it stands out a little bit. So anyway, that's what I filmed. I filmed that for our Doofs in Disney, Doofs with an umlaut, Doofs in Disney channel, and I'll eventually post that. I still need to get that channel together is what I need to do. I haven't even done that. Completely slacked off on doing that, but hopefully I can get it together before we leave. So anyway, after that, it was getting close to 3:30, and I just kept dozing. So I was like, I need to take a power nap before I go and meet Tia. I didn't have anything else to do, so I got in bed and literally laid back and just kind of put my hands down and just fell asleep. And at 4 o'clock, my alarm went off, and I jumped up and got all my clothes on. And I had to bring workout clothes, because since I was gonna be there. Tia earlier said, well, since you're gonna be there, you're gonna take my body pump class? And I was like, I guess so. I hadn't thought about it. So I brought all my clothes to work out in, and I got to her office about 4:30. I think it was like 10 after 4 before I even left. So I got there about 4:38-ish, and I didn't sit there very long, and then she came out, and we drove to the Croc Center. While she was doing her first class, I went back to the car, and I had every intention of just laying there and taking a nap. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I can work on the taxes and just download the files I need to download. And so that's what I did. I downloaded all the bank statements and the student loan stuff, and I have all that prepared, because I've just been slacking off on getting that started. I was planning to do it before we left, but now I've decided that I'm going to do as much as I can, because we have to upgrade to the home and business to do the taxes for her. So I was like, that's an extra $35-$40. I'm just going to wait to do that afterwards. But I'm going to get everything in that I can get in beforehand. And then when we get back, then I'll upgrade and just finish her stuff. But I'll get everything ready so that when we get back, I can just do it, send it, and be done with it. This year, the taxes aren't going to be as hard because she doesn't have Move It to deal with. So, after, my tummy's making some noises. At 6:30, packed everything up, went in, took the body pump class. There were actually 3 other people there this time, and not just me and Jill. And then on our way home, we decided, we had talked about it, because we're having taco night on Saturday night at Katie's house. And Tia had initially said, well, we're going to bring a cheese dip, a taco flavored inspired cheese dip, and some Mexican chocolate brownies, essentially. I said, how about, because we kept talking about what we still needed to buy, and the stuff we need to buy for the cheese dip is so expensive. We got to buy the cream cheese and this and that and the other. It's going to be a lot of money that we don't want to spend right now. I'd rather just go get a box of brownie mix and just make the brownies. So I said, how about we not make the cheese dip and just be done with it? Just bring the brownies. She says, okay, that sounds good. So I'm going to go get the brownie mix tomorrow. And then we're just going to make the Mexican chocolate brownies. When we got home, took a bath, and then went down, and Tia made a salad. Because I had another big can of ravioli. I made my ravioli, took my medicine, and we watched some Disney videos. And at 10 o'clock, we were upstairs. Tia was in bed. I was in bed. And I had every intention of going back down and taking Dancer out one more time. But that didn't happen because it started storming. And I was like, I'm not going to take her out right now. If she craps in her cage, she craps in her cage. However, fast forward to the next morning, Dancer did not crap in her cage. I was very impressed. And I think that medicine's helping her. So anyway, I fell asleep about 11:30. Tia was in bed and out by 10. Like 10:10, she was gone. She was already snoring. I piddled in bed, played on my phone, watched some videos, and was asleep by 11:30. And that was my day. See you tomorrow.